Want to learn more about YouTube and growing your channel? Subscribe now. TVR Universe, welcome to this week's live stream where I want to give you absolute value. I'm Dave from TVR Creators and I bring you weekly YouTube tips to help you build your brand. If that sounds interesting to you, subscribe now. Let's crack on with the video. You're going to get value from this video. Alright, so thank you so much for joining us. Feel free to ask questions as we go on. On today's live stream, I'm going to be sharing with you live some great YouTube tips, more particularly about cameras and gears and online deals for you to find on Amazon and some great deals for you. So we've got loads to go through, lots of value. I'm going to be looking at cameras and tripods and lighting sets and all sorts of things. So do not go anywhere. I'm also going to do some shout outs to my core fans that I've been watching on a weekly basis, so do not go anywhere. You're going to get value from this video. Alright, so let's crack on with some value. Hello Perry. Oh yes, welcome. Just thought I'd knock it in. And just before we go on, right, I was just copying some stuff there. That's value there. Right, so let's crack on with today's stuff. We're going to go straight to our favourite place, Amazon. Right, the first thing I want to look at is lighting set. And let's see if we're going to get some value. Just let me know if it's there. All right, so I found one the other day that was really awesome. That I thought was awesome. Okay, that's pretty good. Limited, there we go. So you got a limited deal here, and this is a set of one. And this is something I wanted to highlight actually. I've got two of these. Are they the same make? I think it's a slightly different make, but this is pretty much what I use on a weekly basis. I only use one at the minute. It's basically a box light and it's absolutely fantastic. At the moment, they're 35 quid. That's pretty awesome. Obviously, if you're abroad, it'll be slightly variation, but that's a cracking deal. I think that's absolutely brilliant. And what they come with, basically, they have like a box and you basically have the light, if you can see, where's the best picture to show you guys? So if you can see, it has like a bulb. It's like a giant bulb, but it basically gives like more natural light. And cameras and lenses, they absolutely love this light. And you'll see at sort of moment, more specifically when I'm using my Canon M50, what a camera. And we'll talk about that more later on. But it's just really good at giving you a real natural light, and it's just superb at just making your videos look more natural, and it makes editing in post so much more easier. I cannot recommend these enough. And I personally, what do you think? You're probably thinking, why do I only want one? Well, I've got a set of two. I'm just saying, you know, for 35 quid, one light is a great way to get you started. And as you can see, they go up to according to this 78 inches, so that's roughly, I've got mine about height now, so it's probably about 1.5 meters, something like that, maybe slightly higher, so sort of bear that in mind. But literally, if you sort of tilt it all the way up, it goes pretty much to your ceiling, so bear that in mind. Or, you know, maybe you might leave about 4 or 5 inches, which is roughly, you know, sort of 20 centimeters, something like that. So basically, this is a great product to use, and I'd highly recommend if you want to up your game. You don't want to spend hundreds of pounds on cameras and lenses and all the rest of it, but if you do, that's fine. You just want to use your phone, which I know a lot of you do. Then I'd highly recommend upping your game with a single box light. Now, something else you could do if you want to up your game a bit more, this is what I did, and I basically got #DrinkMoreDave. Value. Now, what I did personally, this costs a bit more, so about double the price. At the moment, they're a cracking price at 59, so let's say 60 quid. Let's not beat round the bush about it. But basically, this is pretty much the same thing. Set of two bulbs, great little box. It comes with like a cover that, on the front, sort of dulls the light slightly, but that's more so it just doesn't blind you really. And what's really cool, actually, they come with this really nifty bag, which is really awesome. I really love it. I have it, you know, if you ever want to use it, or if you're, you know, maybe if you're on the go when the world goes back to normal, you're traveling around, or maybe your studio's you know, further away from your home or wherever, or maybe you just want to go to, I don't know, a friend's house and you want to do a bit of filming there or something like that. It's just easy to sort of, you know, the tripod clips small, roll up together, you know, all sort of goes compact, put straight back in the bag, and off you go. I would highly recommend personally just on it for one, but I'll tell you what, I personally bought two, because there are times and occasions when I think two is just a great option. And I know, Pei, for example, that you had two and you had this awesome setup when you had two of them behind you. It looked like you was on stage or something like that, and that was awesome. I honestly thought that was really, really cool. Okay, so let's just have a brief look at what the lights you could get. Boom, boom, boom. Now, something you could get, actually, I mean, this is a bit extreme, but if you want to set up your own home studio in your spare room or your garage, something that perhaps you might want to go full out on is something like this. Obviously, it costs a bit more, but here you get, you know, there's 4 lights here. You get like the old-fashioned, the old-school umbrellas for those of you that want a bit retro, and they're just as good. Some people swear by them, especially photographers. Obviously, you got the twin box lights. They obviously come on their own cases and bags, which is really cool. And something I would get, actually, if you don't want to get with this set, you could buy these separately. These grips are absolutely really helpful to clip if you're doing backdrops or stuff like that, or if you just want to hold up, I don't know, material, if you're using that in the background, that sort of thing. Bear that in mind. Or just get yourself a set of these grips. I think they're about 5 or something like that. Let's see, I can never remember what they're called. Let's just briefly have a look for you guys, to give you guys value. If you're getting value from this video, don't forget to hit the like button. Let's call them set grips. I'm not quite sure what to call them. I've been completely... There we go. There we go. This is what you need. I would highly recommend these. These are brilliant. For 5, you get 9, and these are just really, 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 really nifty. If you want to, you know, make a back set, you know, like I've got in a minute, you want to clip some up, or if you want to use some material to have like as a backdrop, or if you're, I don't know, doing some filming and you want to sort of hold something up, they're just so useful. And sometimes I've even used them before when I've been setting up cameras, just to clip the cables out of the way, because it feels like cables are everywhere, especially when I'm doing a live stream. So bear that in mind. You know, so it's these little nifty things that people don't think about, but obviously for you guys that are making your videos, your content, you will know that especially. Let's see who's going. Magical. Hello, Brad. Welcome to the magical that is live stream. Welcome. So yeah, so I would highly recommend these grips. I think they're absolutely brilliant. It wasn't actually something I was planning to talk about today, but this is what I call the what would you call it? And the sort of the unseen friends of a content creator, the little silly things that people wouldn't think of, you know, like extension USB cables, grips for back sets, I don't know, maybe a mini tripod if you want to sit it on the table. I'm trying to look around, extension leads, little silly things like that, extra caps for your lenses, little silly things like that are the things that go a long way. And if you're watching this now and you have a friend that's a content creator, but you might not necessarily make videos, you might want to buy one of your content creator friends something like that, just as a little silly joke for Christmas, you know, that sort of thing. Or if you are a content creator and you have another content creator friend, you know more than anyone how important it is to give them value and just buy them a little silly gift. But those things are so useful. Hashtag drink Dave. Oh dear. Right, I'm just looking now. Right, next thing I want to look at is tripods. This is good. This is brilliant. Absolute value. Now, if you're just starting out, for literally, I'm rubbish at maths, 40p more, I would highly recommend, if you're starting out, getting one of these, because obviously I know a lot of you use your phones. That's just how it is. More content creators are using their phones, and I know some great content creators, some of you included, that use your phones that make great content. So if you haven't already, if you have, great. If you haven't already, I'd highly recommend one of these like cheap £20 tripods. They're brilliant, and they come with just a little gadget so you can mount your phone onto the top of it, as you can see here. Now just bear in mind that one's a little bit basic. I haven't got one on me at the minute. Just bear with me. I feel it's important. Want to learn more about YouTube and growing your channel? Subscribe now. So just briefly before we carry on then, if you've only just joined us, I'm Dave from TVR Creators, and I make weekly YouTube tips to help you build your brand. If that sounds interesting to you, subscribe now. If you're getting value from today's video, don't forget to smash that like button and share this video with absolutely everybody, because let's build the TVR universe. Now what I wanted to share with you, just before this is what I wanted to say, is as awesome as this is, what you could get, and for about £5 is one of these. They're absolutely brilliant. So it's just a phone mount that goes on top of your tripod. Absolutely brilliant gadget. And I believe they only cost, let's just have a brief look, see how much they are, shall we? Get the keyboard back. Come on, Dave. Tripod phone mounts. That's probably what we're looking for. Yeah, so something like that. £8, £5, £6. Any of them would fit with your tripod. £7. That looks like the one I got. That's just over £6. Brilliant little gadget, absolutely fantastic. And what I love about these little mounts is obviously the default sort of does it sort of horizontal, so your phone clips in like that, and obviously you can adjust the grip depending on your size of your phone, so don't worry about that, because it will fit with literally any phone no matter what make your phone is. But obviously with these little nifty ones, you can obviously turn it both ways, so you can have it horizontal or you can have it vertical if you're doing TikTok videos and stuff like that. So bear that in mind, and for the extra £5-6, that will help you up your game and gives you the creativity, so you can, you know, depending on what mood you're in or what you want it for, you can go sort of both ways. And that's just a brilliant tool as a content creator. So I'd highly recommend, so for just over £6, I would highly recommend one of these, and it's not breaking the bank. So with one of them plus a £20 tripod, you are fit to go, and all you need is a half decent microphone eventually and some lighting, but you can work on that down the road. Now, I personally, if you want to, you know, if you want something a bit more professional, or maybe you are someone like me that has, you know, a sort of a proper camera or an SLR, or, you know, you just want something a bit more heavy duty for whatever reason, there's nothing wrong with a £20 tripod. I'm using two of them in a minute to hold my webcam and my microphone, and this one holding the microphone, if you can see it, I don't want to move it too much because it will break the sound, but if you can just see that, I've had that tripod, as some of you may know, for 15-20 years now, whatever it is, and it has been everywhere. It's been up hills, it's been around cities, it's been in forests, it's travelled up and down the country, and it's still pretty much as it was as I got it, as I do try to look after stuff. So if you're one of those sort of people, I would highly recommend that. Obviously, if someone to break stuff, well, I can't help you. But basically, if you the point I want to get to is, if you want something that's a bit more heavy duty, something a bit more professional, you could get one of those grip things, but I'll talk about that on a different day. I would highly recommend, and let's see if I can see it now, and I'm literally getting Dumbledore. Is that the one? Basically, I was trying to find the one that I actually use, but that, I believe, is the one. Is that the one? Pretty much same to that. I think it's a slightly different make, but is no, that is the exact tripod that I use. This one now is the exact tripod that I use. It's okay, I've got it sat over there, and I'm not going to keep moving because that's just irritating. But basically, this tripod is absolutely brilliant. I love this tripod, and what I like about it, as you can see in the picture, it has some grip so you can hold it, so if you're doing pamming shots and stuff like that. It's just over £40, which for a professional tripod is not a lot. Okay, it's double the price of a basic one, but if you want something more heavy duty, you know, it's a bit more heavy duty, it's less likely to break if you're maybe a bit more heavy handed, and also it just has a very cool little leveler, so you can see if the camera's level, if you want to be really precise with your shoots. Obviously, like I said, it's got these awesome grips. They tend to be taller. This one is 177 centimeters or 70 inches, whatever you prefer, to man. But basically, it's slightly as high as you or higher, unless you're literally like the Big Show. But basically, what I like about this, if you want to think about taking a good shot, you want the camera at eye level or slightly higher, bear that in mind. Just because it just gives a better angle, it makes you look better on camera, and that's what we all want. All of us want to look as good as possible on camera, and it just gives a more professional shot, and it just looks better. There's nothing worse than, you know, someone doing some sort of live stream in a business meeting and they got some dodgy webcam sat on the table, you know, looking up their nose and all this sort of thing. So bear that in mind whenever you're doing any sort of filming. But so what I like about these professional ones, they're just a little bit taller, and I love this tripod. You're probably thinking, Dave, why aren't you using that now? It's only because it was on the other side of the room, I'll be brutally honest. And had my other two literally right here in the corner. But I love that tripod. I use it every Tuesday when I make my Tuesday videos, when I do my bite-sized videos, when I bring you value to you guys. I use them all the time. Actually, it's a brilliant tripod. The other thing I like about it, actually, is obviously it has all the different sizes, and obviously you can customize whatever height you want, which is brilliant. But the other thing that I really like, here we go, you can just see, so this comes with the mount, what we were talking about. So just for over £40, you've got the awesome tripod. It's got a little hook on the bottom if you want to put a weight on it in case it's really windy, bear that in mind. It turns, it pans really smoothly. It has the mobile phone mount if you want to use it for mobile phone, and that turns, but it's literally this one. Pretty much, yeah, it's pretty much this one, which turns. It also, really nifty actually, if you can see here, it basically stems, it basically becomes like a selfie stick, so you can pull it out, and if you want to walk with it, but you don't want the whole tripod, but you don't want, you know, if you're a bit like me sometimes, my hand's not always the stillest as it could be, having it on a selfie stick is just really handy. And sometimes in my videos or when I'm in films in the past, it's just been really handy just to hold it and just sort of walk with it, or if you're doing if you're a blogger, it's something that you want to bear in mind. And it's just a brilliant tool, so I could not recommend this tripod anymore. It's absolutely brilliant. I love this tripod. It's absolutely superb. Want to learn more about YouTube and growing your channel? Subscribe now. So if you're only just joining us, I'm Dave from TVR Creators. I make weekly YouTube tips to help you build your brand. If that sounds interesting to you, subscribe now. And on that little tongue twister, let's do Drink More Dave. Oh yeah. Right, let's go to the interval now. I'm just going to briefly do some awesome shout outs to some of you lovely people. And just before I do, I just want to see, oh my God, there's a lot going on. Oh yeah, woo! Ric Flair, I'll do that for you. Are you hinting for Christmas gifts? Yes, damn right, Christmas gifts. Well, you know, for the people that haven't already got it. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Randy Savage. Oh yeah! Don't forget Siv there. Oh dear, love it, I love it. Thank you guys, that's some awesome stuff in the chat there. So basically some shout outs then. I've made a list in case I get completely Dumbledore and forget. So firstly, I want to talk about Perry Manning. What an absolute legend. This is his mug. Check him out. I'm drinking. Actually, I'm not going to say that. Sounds really wrong. Oh yeah. I'll get out myself. But seriously though, go and check out Perry Manning. He is an absolute legend. His link to his channel is in the description. He's a musician. For those of you that hear on a weekly basis, you've probably heard me talk about him before, but he is absolutely brilliant. He does covers of some fantastic songs of loads of different artists, and he writes and plays and sings his own music as well. He's a great singer, great musician, and just a great all-round guy, and I've known him for absolute years, and he's just a brilliant guy, so go and check him out. There he is there, look. So seriously, go and check him out, and he's awesome, and his channel is doing really well. And I don't know, I just love watching his videos, and I just think they're awesome. I think they're really, they're just brilliant. So keep doing what you're doing, mate, and as you're in the live stream, keep doing what you're doing. You rock. Who's next on there? So Henry from, let's see if we can get this right, because this was a bit of a tongue twister for me. So Henry from Australia at Product Creation Formula. I hope I've said that right. I'm pretty rubbish at words. And anyway, he does great videos on PowerPoint presentations, on how to design your own ebooks, on website templates, on building your own websites, loads of sort of online stores and stuff like that. So great products. He also has a he's got a free giveaway at the moment, so go and check him out. Again, his channel is in the description, and he just has a great channel. And he's just an all-round nice guy, and he just comes across to everybody as just someone that you could just listen to for a long period of time. And I generally think that Henry is an awesome bloke, and we've had some great messages over the last few weeks and months, and I just love watching his content. He just gives very informative, interesting videos, and that's something that all of us who aspire to achieve and to watch and enjoy and create and all this sort of stuff. So go and check out his channel, because it rocks. I cannot say that enough. It really does. I also want to do a shout out to Nadia Lee, who's a gamer, someone else I've been in contact with now for quite a few months since I've sort of started all this content creation stuff, and she's brilliant. She does games of walkthroughs of things like Red Dead, Witcher 3. She's doing Horizon at the moment. You know, lots and lots of great games. And as silly as it sounds, she just like you go on like a journey with her when you watch her videos. They're almost like, you know, you really feel like you're there. She gives some entertaining commentary. So if you're watching this now, Nadia, keep doing what you're doing as well. I love your channel. I'm always watching your content whenever I can. Sometimes if I'm just doing editing, like with any of you guys, I'll watch your content in the background just because, you know, why not? And also I want to do a shout out to Lady Cuts again, because you're always here, just like you guys are that are watching now. I love her. She's on Mixcloud, and she's a DJ, and basically she DJs and she does awesome sets. Her main one is from 8 till 10 on Tuesdays. Go and check it out, Lady Cuts. I've left a link to her Facebook page also in the description, so go and check it out as well. And she's just awesome. She's just an awesome woman. She just like comes across really awesome, and I just love listening to her set. She just has some great music, things like garage and hip hop and all that sort of stuff. And just go and check her out, because she just rocks. And her husband does it as well, so go and check him out as well. So go and check out those awesome people. And for those of you that are watching now live, you all rock. And if you watch this down the road, you rock as well. So yeah, and so I just want to do a little shout out to you guys, because I genuinely appreciate you guys, and I'm very inspired by what you do. So keep doing what you do, and as always, you guys are awesome. So let's crack on to part 2 of tonight's value. Want to learn more about YouTube and growing your channel? Subscribe now. Hooray! And I just briefly looked at your comment, Perry. You're most welcome. So anyways, let's crack on with some more value then. So I want to talk about cameras now. I just can't help myself. Oh. No, I want to look at the We're going to look at the Canon M100. Let's see if it just comes up. It doesn't always come up when you do that. I saw a brilliant deal for this the other day, but I'm going to do that in the after show. I just want to briefly tell you something, but I'm going to tell you that later for you core guys that stick around to the end. Anyway, so the Canon 100 is an absolute amazing camera. You can get it now for just over 400. Now, some of you might be going, what? But put it this way, a professional camera, you know, if you're going for full-blown, all things, all singing, all dancing, you're talking more than that, if not thousands. So just bear that in mind. This is an absolute brilliant camera. It's one actually that I really want. Hint, hint to anyone that really wants to spend that type of money on me. But I really want one, just because it would just be nice to have an extra camera. And you're probably thinking, why do you want the Canon M100 when I'm always on about the M50? I'll get to that in a moment. And what's awesome about this, it has the same kit lens as the Canon M50. But what's awesome about this, the flip screen goes up, sort of flips above it. Let's see if there's a picture actually. So it has an awesome lens. No, it hasn't done that. But if you can just imagine, it basically flips up high. So it's really, so if you're just a blogger and you just want to do, I don't know, blogging videos, or if you're filming indoors, you know, this might be a camera that you might want to recommend. For the likes of you, Perry, if you're no, just bear with me on that one. But if you're just a blogger or you just want an extra camera, I personally would say this would be an awesome camera for doing thumbnails. So this is the sort of thing I'm looking at doing, is having this camera for thumbnails, or if I want to do some videos, some B-roll of, you know, things I'm talking about, products I'm talking about, cameras and gear that I'm talking about. Or sometimes you may notice occasionally, like this, you're going to get value from this video. So basically, if I want to like some B-roll of me holding or using my main camera, which at the moment is the Canon M50, which is my favourite camera, as I'm sure you core fans know by now, it would sometimes be nice to have a second camera to get some decent B-roll with that. Now I know you could use your phone, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I don't know. I'm sure you content creators will relate to this. That it just feels better, doesn't it? It just feels nicer to have a decent, you know, a proper camera. And I just think the Canon M50, the Canon M100, sorry, would be a great camera to start. But I'll tell you about this later in the after show, so bear with me on that. But I would highly recommend this camera. For those of you that are new here, or for any of you that are regulars, I would highly recommend this as a blogging camera, or just a photography camera if you just want to, you know, do thumbnails and that sort of thing. Now, you probably may or may not know that there is a Canon M200. Now, this, my friends, costs a good £150 more, and it is basically the same. If I'm being brutally honest, also, I want you to know that neither of these cameras have audio jacks, and this is why I said no to you, Perry. If you do ever go to if you want to up your camera, I'll get to that in a second. Again, just bear with me on that one. Just because now the Canon M100 basically has the same kit lens, you know, it has more or less the same features, one or two extra little things, but again, doesn't have an audio jack. It has the same flip higher screen. So people think, what is the point? Well, being brutally honest, what is the point? Now, it is extra closer to the M50, as it just filmed more or less in the same formats in both HD and 4K from what I can tell, but I personally just think, I don't know, if it just have this sort of pop-up flip actually, flash, which is quite cool, but the 100 has that as well. But if you want to up your game, and if you haven't already, I would highly recommend, come on, where is she, for an extra £100, oh yes. Okay, that's 600 a minute, and you're probably thinking, flipping out, Dave. Well, I'll tell you what, I love this camera for many reasons. I've got it live. Here it is, the absolute beautiful Canon M50. I know I've talked about this loads. If you're new here, go and check out my reviews on this camera. I made you another one of why, even now in 2020, you should get this. Now, technically, this came out in 2018. I got mine in May. I saw somewhere it was May 2000 last year. But I love this lens. The kit lens it comes with is great. It's really good in low lighting. It takes fantastic photos because of the lens and the body, and it takes fantastic video in both HD and 4K. Now, so just to bear in mind, it just cropped the video slightly, but you can quite easily change that just by putting an adapter on and a slightly bigger lens if you want to. But I find because it's on 15, it goes from 15 to 45, and because of that, I don't find the cropping's an issue because of the 15 on the lens, you know, the camera's only about here and it still gets me all in shot. And I'm sure if you've seen any of my videos, you'll see that I get a very nice frame, and I cannot vouch for the Canon M50 enough. So if you want to up your game, if you want something that's separate from your phone, if you're, you want to get serious about content creation here on YouTube, or make films, or make weekly content, or whatever you want to do, I would highly recommend this. And the only reason why I like it, it has this awesome flip screen that I love because it's on the side. You can attach a microphone to the top. Yes, it does have a microphone jack, and you can interchange the lenses with any of the lenses that you can buy for it. Or if you've got an older camera, or a family or friend, or a family member, whatever, has an older Canon camera, you can just get an adapter for about £20-30, and you can attach that on, and you've got a different lens, so you can play around with that. So it has that capability, which just opens up your creativity on a massive scale. Now, okay, it is over £600, but again, for that sort of price and for what you get with this, with a 4K HD camera, there isn't much. You can't really beat this without spending £1,000. That's being brutally honest. Now you do have the Mark II, which is a great camera, but that's another £100 or so, another couple £100. So, you know, it goes up and up and up. So I think realistically, this is great for the book, and you can get some great deals all the time on Amazon by, you know, they come with like tripods and stuff like that. So just shop around and see what you can get. And, you know, if you don't want to spend the full whatever, you can get the second hand as well on Marketplace. There is always, you know, looking now at this particular one, there's perhaps not, but there normally is someone selling it for like 400 or 500. So just bear that in mind as well. And if you don't mind one or two little marks on it, as long as it still works, you know, there you go. And I cannot rave about this camera enough. I don't want to take up the whole video about it, but I'll tell you what, I love it. I absolutely love the Canon M50. It is the camera of choice for me, and not just me, but so many content creators I've seen. And I know there's one or two of you that watch my videos that have also bought one of these, and I'm sure you would agree that the Canon M50 is an absolutely superb camera. So for, you know, for the perfect setup, I would have the Canon M50, or maybe even two Canon 50s, but that's pushing it. But the perfect setup for me would be Canon M50 as my main video camera, and then perhaps the Canon M100 as sort of a second camera, perhaps for B-roll, or if you want to film yourself with the M50, you know, it makes it a little more professional. Or if you just want a secondary camera, something that's just slightly smaller, doesn't have the viewfinder, or, you know, that sort of thing. And you can just do B-roll and take pictures of your thumbnails with the Canon 100. So bear all that in mind. So yeah, I cannot rave about it enough. Let's drink some water, shall we? Want to learn more about YouTube and growing your channel? Subscribe now. Alright, so I just want to say, I'm Dave from TVR Creators. If you only just joined us, I'm Dave from TVR Creators. I make weekly YouTube tips to help you build your brand. If that sounds interesting to you, subscribe now. And if you're getting value at all from this video, hit that, smash that like button all the way to YouTube, because you guys rock. And also, if you want to support the channel, feel free to check out our merch at any point and get value. And you can see there's a little link, and the link to our merch site is also in the description, and we have mugs and t-shirts and phone cases and bags and all sorts of cool things. And if you've already done so, again, I thank you. So go and check out our merch at any point, because it really does rock. And as you can see, I've designed a new mug. Go check it out. Anyway, so right, back to awesomeness. So yes, I will shut up for now about the Canon 50, but hint, hint, up your game with the Canon M50. I cannot say that enough. Canon, if you ever watch this, I absolutely love, not sponsored, I absolutely love the Canon M50. I just want to say again. Right, the next thing I was going to talk about, actually. Tell me what you think of this, actually. I was thinking on next Friday's live stream, I was thinking about doing actually making in live time a thumbnail, and maybe give some ideas and pointers about that using Photoshop. So if that sounds like something that'll bring you value, please let me know. But basically, I'm going to talk about that in a moment. Right, right, which one would I go for? So basically, this is a slightly newer version to the one I use all the time. I think mine's like 2019 or whatever, but Photoshop is Photoshop. And if you just want to up your game, if you're a bit like me and you rather do your design work or your editing on things like, you know, your laptop or your PC or, you know, your main computer, I would highly recommend Photoshop if you haven't already. It's just a brilliant tool. Now, I'll be honest, for years I got a bit scared about it. I was a bit like, oh God, you know, it was just too much to take in. But over the last, you know, since I've been doing this on a more, you know, more professional level, since May, I've been using Photoshop on a weekly basis now to design my thumbnails. And I like to think that each week they get better. I try to tinker with them to make, you know, you probably notice I try to make them look more and more professional. And, you know, and once you get used to it, it's actually not as bad as you might think. And they do have an app actually that you can get I've been completely dumbledore what the name of it is, but they do actually have an app that you can also download on your phone and use that on your phone as well. So go and check that out. But I would highly recommend Photoshop. Now it is 80 quid, but it's Adobe at the end of the day, and all the pros use Adobe. They use the Adobe for video editing. I use Adobe editing for years and years and years and years, just because it was just a great program. But I just want something different, and I'll get to that in a second. But if you want to do design work for your thumbnails, maybe design covers for your channel, if you want to do, like, I don't know, channel art for projects or films you're making, or if you're doing music, stuff like that, if you're not already, I'd highly recommend Photoshop as a product that will just up your game in your creativity and just make it so easy for you to use. And it works on pretty much any computer. And yeah, I'm going to do that next week. I'm going to do a live stream. Let's see if any of you guys like that idea. But regardless, I think I'm going to do a live stream next week on Photoshop in making a thumbnail, because I think that would be something interesting. I know I did do a video about it ages ago, but I appreciate since we've had loads of new people, so they may not have seen it. So let's do a new one, because I've learned so much about Photoshop since then, and it's a great tool to use. So this is something I would highly, highly recommend. You're going to get value from this video. Hooray! 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 So yeah, go and get Photoshop. Oh dear. Right. Here we go. Magic. Oh, magic! Go on, Brad. Magic! Let's see if it's here. Now, for some reason, it's not always here. Now, for those of you in the know... Wow, that's cool. For those of you in the know, then, I use Magic Edit Pro. I believe mine's 2018, 2019. This is a new version. And I love this tool. I'm going to tell you why I like this product. I think it's absolutely brilliant because it's simplistic. You're probably thinking, what are you trying to say, David? Well, what I mean is sometimes I find it much more efficient if you've got a tool that's just easy and user-friendly. If you have to waste time sometimes with layers and, I don't know, just trying to work out and have maybe thousands of transitions that you'll probably never use, what I love about this is it just has exactly what you need. So if you're content creating, you're making your YouTube videos, I highly recommend this. I believe one of my mates, I think it's Phil, he bought this and he was really happy with it as well. And I just think it's just a brilliant product, and I use this again every week when I do my Tuesday bite-sized videos. It's just so easy. You have your timeline with your different tracks, you have a few transitions but not thousands to complicate things, and it's just a brilliant product, and the price of it changes all the time. You can just get the classic one for 50 quid and you can upgrade to any of the other ones at any one point. And what's really cool about this, you can actually download transitions. If you come across a certain effect that you like, you can just buy it for, like, I don't know, 50p or something silly, and it's just a great little product. Or if you want to go full out, you can get the plus one, which will give you loads more features and tools. And obviously if you want to go full out, you got the premium, which is still only £100. But you don't have to go silly for £45. You've got a great editing tool that's just easy to use. I love it. I think it's a great tool. I think it's something that just has made my video editing, from days of, I don't know, computer crashing because it just had too many things going on or stuff like that. I love this. I think I've only had, and this has been brutally truthful with you now, I think it's only crashed once or twice in the last 6 months, and now just because I've just been too fast on the mouse. But on the whole, it's just such a clean build. I just can't tell you enough. And it's something that very few people, I have not seen many people talk about it. So it's one of these like secret little gems, and I love it. I think it's great. It's just so easy to use. I've actually got a editing tutorial playlist over on my channel they can check out later or future or whenever, where I do 4 videos showing you how to edit your videos and stuff like that. So go and check it out, because I use Magic to make those videos, and you'll see just how easy it is to clip your videos together. If you've already got a great tool, put in the comments below. Yeah, so that's great. All the products I've talked about today, I have affiliate links in the description, so go and check them out if you so wish. You don't have to, obviously, but go and check them out. And if there's anything that interests you, smash on that link. Anyway, so I hope that this content has been valuable. If you've got any questions about any of the things I've talked about today, feel free to ask me in the comments, or in the live stream now. And I hope this has given you value. Boom. You're going to get value from this video. So brilliant. I'm going to do an after show in a second. So if you core fans, I'm going to go into the after show. But just briefly, for everyone in general, all of you that are here now, I just want to say a massive thank you for watching today's live stream. Hope you got value as always. I hope that you've maybe learned something, or you just found this interesting, or you're going, oh, actually, I might go with that lighting set, or that camera. Actually, I really like the sound of that camera. So like I said, I've got links to all the things I've talked about today in the description. So thank you again so much for watching. I will see the core fans of you in the after show. Thank you again. I've got loads of content. Go and check out the channel to get any updates. Look at our Twitter feed, and also we have a nice Facebook community as well. And you can also find us on Instagram. You want to support the brand, you are doing so just by watching this content. And if you want to do so even more, check out our merch. So thank you again. As always, guys, see you in the after show, because you guys rock. Don't do it again, because finally Dave has come back to TVR Creators. You're going to get value from this video. Alright. So, keyboard down. If you got any questions, feel free to put them in the live comments or comment afterwards, etc. That's just popped up. So welcome to the after show. I can relax a little bit, drink here, have a drink. I just want to do a little shout out to my best mate Brad's kids, who I call Proof and Wow, who may or may not be watching this video, or at some point. Massive shout out to you. You guys are my biggest fans. You guys rock. So yeah, man. And also want to thank Brad again for the stuff he's been doing in the background, helping with the channel. And also my good friend Leslin, who I also know that he's been watching this on a couple of devices and has been winding up his wife with this content. So so thank you for your support. It means a lot. And everyone tonight that is watching, let's just see who's in the live stream. So for those that are definitely in the live stream, Brad and Perry, I want to again really thank you again for your support. You guys are literally watching every week, and you give me value with Perry, with your amazing content. Keep doing what you're doing. I genuinely mean that. Just keep driving, keep making content, keep writing music, everything you do in the background that people just don't understand unless they do this, if that makes sense. Just keep going. I genuinely mean that. And Brad, thank you for all your stuff that you do with ideas. Sometimes sort of go, oh Dave, you've done this, or why don't you do that, or whatever. And more recently been helping me again in the background, just with sort of ideas and managing all the different platforms, as we are literally everywhere now. So thank you again. So there we go. Brilliant. And I just want to say, if any of you watching that for whatever reason you can't log in for whatever reason, you can log into YouTube at any point. It's absolutely free. Feel free to do so. Just log in. All you need is an email account and a password. Log in. If you're just watching, you just for whatever reason didn't want to put on the live stream, but you're watching, I thank you as well. I appreciate everyone watching. And if you watch this down the road later tonight, or over the weekend, or even 6 months later, thank you and welcome to the TVR universe. You guys rock. So on that note then, I think we're going to wrap up. And feel free to send me any inboxes or comments in the comments below, or any questions about what I've talked about today. And again, as always, I just want to say on a very serious note that you guys rock. I mean that. So let's do it together now. Hashtag drink more Dave. Oh yeah. Value. And I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, you guys rock. Want to learn more about YouTube and growing your channel? Subscribe now.